Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Journeyman series here on Football Coach College Dynasty. It is episode 42, and we have quite the run in today. With 4 games remaining in the regular season, there are a plethora of undefeated teams both at the top of the rankings and sneakily Kent State rounding out the top 10. And based on the fact that none of us outside of Alabama and Notre Dame play each other the rest of the way, it's a decent chance we have multiple undefeated teams heading into the playoff, which I'm sure will make seeding rather interesting. But so far this season, in case you did not watch last episode, we are 8-0. We've had some very close games, including a 2-point victory against Michigan to open 1-point victory over Georgia, but then also some blowouts of our SEC compatriots. We beat Texas by 22. We beat Vandy by 38. We put 51 on Arkansas, and just recently avenged last season's loss with a 41-17 blowout against Tennessee. Now, the rest of the way, our schedule is a little fun. We have Notre Dame, second best team in the country, visiting us. And then we're going to an average LSU team, South Carolina, currently the worst team in the SEC, and then Auburn to close in the Iron Bowl. In other words, it is very likely that if we beat Notre Dame, we will achieve an undefeated regular season. Doing a quick check-in on where things stand with the donor goals. So far, our kicker had our donor goals. We have on pace for 12 plus wins. We have thrown 20 out of 35 total touchdowns in the season, which means let's say we appear in 3 playoff games and the SEC championship. That's 8 games. So we need to average about 2 touchdowns a game the rest of the way. We have scored 51 points, got that one taken care of. We have beaten Texas, Army, and Tennessee to achieve the second gold donor goal. We've beaten Mississippi State to achieve one of the silver. And then if we beat Auburn, we will have achieved 1 silver, 1 gold, and a diamond in one fell swoop. For player promises, the ones that, are toward the end of the season, they can wait. Abraham High has played in 8 games, so that promise is secure. Marvin Wall is currently averaging 63% snaps when he only wants 50. Cade Baxter was promised 30%. He has been given 43. And Carson Tam, who was promised 25 targets, has already had 35. So that is secure. As far as winning the division is concerned, currently we are undefeated in the SEC, whereas Tennessee is only 4-2. So even if we would have to lose 3 of our last 4 games to not win the division, as we would have the tiebreaker with Tennessee, they would also have to win out. And given the fact that their closing schedule features number 11 Texas and a pretty good Georgia team, I wish them the best of luck. Player promises for the draft risks insofar. Right now, it looks like no one is outright leaving for the draft, which is good. Cade Baxter is leaning toward the draft, so he may be gone. Leo Ball is only leaving if it's an early round. Same with Jackson Conrad. Neither of them are projected to go early. Anthony Burks, similarly, he's projected to go even later. So it looks like there's a decent chance that all 6 of these men will be back for next season. No issue. It rarely goes that way, but we can hope. And then finally, transfer risks. We have a bajillion transfer risks. I am going to do one quick swap of Avery Leonard and Carson Tam just to get Avery some more reps because I don't know if his playing time cutoff is 30%. he's going to get above that. If it is 40, I don't think he's going to get enough to make up the difference. And Carson has done really well for us. He's gotten his targets, so now I want to try getting Avery as much reps as humanly possible. And we'll see how that shakes out. In terms of injuries, we currently have two. Starting quarterback Jesus Frazier is out for 6 weeks with a minor leg injury. He's still in the starting ranks. I've just dropped him from second to third, essentially. He still has really good coverage ability, but his tackling took a massive hit. It's down to 75, so that could be something to look out for. And then our second injury is safety Joel Bellamy, who has a minor injury for 4 weeks. I've just dropped him to the fourth safety spot, and Gilberto Frank, the redshirt freshman, is going to take over third safety duties. So we'll see how he does. Gilberto right now is likely not coming back next year, but I wanted to give him some reps just to see if maybe he's phenomenal, might be worth keeping him around. But that is enough housekeeping notes. Let us get into the games. We open against number 2, Notre Dame, who currently have beaten everyone in their path, including number 6, Georgia, and just decimated every opponent in the ACC. North Carolina took them to OT, though. Right now, they have one of the best offenses in the country, it would appear. Defensively, also, they are top 10 against the run. Not as good against the pass, but I mean, come on. 93 quarterback play. He's still there. Dang, I was hoping he would leave for the draft after his sophomore year. We're not so lucky. Abraham Bullock is still here. He's still balling out. He has yet to have a single interception this season. 108 IQ, 99 arm strength, and he can run. It's just not fair. Running back wise, though, I'm going to be honest. It's not a great room. I mean, the top two guys are doing really well, but neither of them are particularly good. Yeah, that's because their O line is just so good. 107 overall. My God. 117 run block. Okay. So in that case, our practice focus, we are going to try to stop their downfield passing game and work on our downfield passing game. So here we are. The plan for today's video, we're just going to keep going until our season ends, whether that's in the middle of the playoffs or at the very end. Let's rock. We are favored by 5 points, and we have 6 recruits visiting today. Really, the only 2 that matter are JUCO O-lineman Lance Davies, who is the best JUCO prospect in the country, and converted defensive lineman Andre Stevens, who is an athlete, and we have decided to play him at defensive line. So, that's where we stand. So far in the sim, these teams have played each other 4 times. I played them once last year, and we beat Notre Dame 42-17. So let's rock and roll. Begin this game. Notre Dame calls heads. Versus, they're correct. And they elect to defer. All right, so we're going to start with the ball, I think, for the first time this season, which sounds slightly terrifying. Since they're so good against the run, it may be a very pass-heavy kind of day, but at the moment, we're just driving with a will. Never mind, Jackson Conrad got me 0 yards. That's unhelpful, but Marvin Law gets me 15. Thank you, sir. Try to see if we can beat him on the middle hook, and we do. David Sheffield with a 4-yard touchdown reception. Pretty good start, all things considered. Thundersmoke blitz to open. It doesn't work. Rarely does it, but, it's also about setting the tone early. Rats. They convert the 3rd and 10, and they're already in the red zone, but Terry Dingle gets the tackle for a loss, and they have to settle for a field goal. That's fine. If Notre Dame and the second coming of Joe Montana want to settle for a field goal every time, I'm not going to have any complaints. We convert the 3rd and 8 again. Yeah, our run game is getting killed right now. Who could have possibly seen that coming? I'm going to go for it on 4th and 4 here. I think it's time to be a little aggressive. And we get it. Avery Leonard, 13-yard reception for the first down. And David Sheffield over the middle when Notre Dame does engage 8, 27. Fair enough. Sheffield runs it in, gets us the touchdown. Up by 11. I'm going to blitz. I don't care that they're in trips. Send it. And Sean Ballard gets the tackle for loss, and they're going for it. On 4th and 3, I'm going to be a little conservative. Yeah, they did a play action anyway. And we have a fumble. Grant Brown fumbles, forced by Daniel Payne, and Lawrence Mosley, the true freshman, recovers the fumble. Let's see if we can just score a humble 21 points on them today. And we do. They do engage 8 again. Jackson Conrad runs it to the outside for a 40-yard touchdown run. What has happened to Notre Dame? The wheels are falling off the wagon as they are forced to punt already. We get the 3rd and 3. Thank you, Caesar. 1st and goal at the 5. Pass number 1. A sack there is not what we wanted. Pass number 2. All right. Sacked twice in a row. I can take a hint. We'll settle for the field goal there. But I mean, overall, we're up 24-3. We're averaging a first down every time we pass the ball. They're only getting 1.6 yards per rush. I feel that's pretty good. It feels good to me. So overall, our team is humming. And a 3 and out by the defense. We're cooking now. Maybe a bad call to run it there. Yeah, incomplete. All right, we'll punt. We'll let them have the ball back. They get the 3rd and 1. They don't get the 3rd and 13. So far, their Wunderkind over there is only averaging 6.6 yards a pass. Oi! And Anthony Burks is picked off by Jordan Keene. Tried to get him on the comeback on the play action. It didn't work. I'll blitz a linebacker. Dang, bad call. All right, Notre Dame gets a touchdown. So it's a 14-point game now. We cannot lose all of this momentum that we built up here. So we really need to score. There we go. Mikey gets us the conversion. Curls never fails. It failed. David Sheffield with the 12-yard reception. Okay. I just need to stop running it in 1st and 10. It's not worked. There we go. Carson Tam gets us the conversion. We're at the 13. And Raphael Greer runs it in for a touchdown. We're back up by 21. They got the conversion. 3rd and 15. I'm not doing cover 4 quarters. Cool. They punt. All right. Now we're just going to run the ball a bunch. We are going to burn an insane amount of clock here, or at least try to. We are going to fail to and instead punt. 4 plays, burn 3 minutes. Not the best ratio anyone has ever seen. Oh, bad call to do engage 8 there by me. Quit recommending engage 8 game. I'll blitz on 3rd and 3. All right, they don't get the conversion, and they have to settle for a field goal. Bit confused on that one. but I'm not going to ask questions. The backups are now in on offense. Notre Dame is using timeouts. I don't quite know why here, as Middleton goes backwards, which isn't great. Yeah, we'll settle for the field goal. All right, let's see how our backup defense does against these guys. Very good. Joe Matthews gets a sack. 4th and 16, and incomplete. Let's do a quick little pass play to close. And we beat the second best team in the country by 3 touchdowns. Wow. I mean, Burks, he threw the pick, but overall, I think he did really well. 21 and 26, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their guy did worse, I would say. 27 to 39, 260 yards, 1 touchdown. We stopped their run game dead, which we knew we would do because their guys weren't great. We got into a groove running the ball, which was nice. David Sheffield got multiple touchdowns. Pretty good. No complaints there. We got 3 sacks to their 2, 12 tackles for a loss also. We crushed their running backs. And then a perfect day kicking. No complaints. A nice, easy victory. I think this also reinforces my belief that the only teams we'll lose to are the good SEC team. Everyone else, we just pile drive at this point. I think next year, depending on how the out-of-conference contracts go, I want to schedule Ohio State to see if we can beat them. Oh! All right, David Sheffield is essentially concussed, and since it's only a week, I'm just going to drop him all the way to 7th. So Francis Mack is going to get some playing time. Avery Leonard, by the way, no longer wants to transfer, so 30% is the cutoff. Okay. That is noted. We have 2 players commit, and it's a good day. 5-star, number 1 overall recruit, Javier Augustine, has committed. 84 overall B potential, already has 87 arm strength, 87 accuracy, 89 QB IQ. Need I say more? He is going to be our starter next year as a true freshman. Since we have gotten his signature, that does mean I am going to be releasing Anthony Burks from his scholarship after the season, just so he can go and start somewhere else. Because while the idea of redshirting Javier year 1 does sound nice, if he's this good, he's going to declare for the draft after 2-3 years. So I don't want to waste one of that redshirting him. 5-star wide receiver, number 2 overall recruit in the country, Hayden Banks. Come on down. 84 speed, 97 evasion, 94 catching, 96 route running. This guy is phenomenal. He is going to soar to the top of our wide receiver depth chart. And we are once again going to have a beautiful wide receiver core with Marvin Wall, Avery Leonard, Carson Tam, Francisco Askew. We're going to promise playing time to keep, and we're going to have. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So we got those guys. That brings us to 12 targets remaining. And in terms of the recruiting visit, we got 2,000 points or close to it for every single player. That puts us far and ahead of Notre Dame on Lance Davies and Andre Stevens. Man. Yep, we got 400 points from it being a top 5 and 500 for beating a top 5 team. That's crazy. That's definitely one of the highest I've ever seen. All right, so I can also schedule Liam Littlejohn I'll have him join the Auburn group. Just so you know, a little wide receiver that I found that could end up being a good depth option. So, what that also means is we are pretty much guaranteed to get all of the top 11 recruits on our board. The only one we're behind on is four-star tight end Colton Downs, who, as I said before, if we don't get him, it's not the end of the world. I think he'll become a really good pass-catching tight end. We still have our recruiting visit with Auburn, who is another interested team. So presumably we're going to get a pretty big boost from beating them, assuming we beat them. And that should pole vault us ahead of Georgia. Everyone else, I mean, we're 1,000, 2,000. Some of these guys were 8,000 points ahead of. The fact that they haven't committed already is a bit annoying, just in my humble opinion. That is something I would like to see changed about recruiting. Like, have it be like 4,000 points or whatever as a cutoff to where if I'm that far ahead and no other team is even interested or doing a pitch, they should commit to me. Like, there's no reason these six shouldn't commit. Like last week. Anywho, all right, we beat Notre Dame. They go down. Fresno State scheduled an FCS school and beat them by 73. Rude. Kent State still undefeated at 9-0. I am hoping so much that my two former teams are in the playoffs with me. That would be amazing. All right, we're facing 5-4 LSU, who, credit to them, they scheduled a ranked Penn State team in out of conference and beat them. But the SEC has not been that kind. They've lost to Florida, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and Texas. Not great. Yeah, it just looks like they're an average, below average team in almost everything. Below average against the run, even worse against the pass. Not good at running the ball. Passing the ball, they're pretty okay. But they've only had 2 plays of 40-plus yards the whole season. Their QB is Kevin McLeod. They still have him, but he has not had the same success as years previous. How did he develop? I remember it being pretty good. Yeah, I mean, he had really good development. His accuracy went up by 9. IQ went up by 4. Or, excuse me, 14. I can read numbers. Okay. I mean, we're still going to try to stop McLeod. Let's work on our run game. All right, let's rock and roll. We're favored by 14.5 points. LSU has 7 recruits visiting, including a couple of 4-stars that they're looking to catch up on. So far in the sim, 5-2 split, with Bama taking the majority of games. It is heads. LSU will defer. So after the AI never deferred on kicks in 8 games, they've deferred twice in a row on these. Fair enough. Rafferger gets 0 yards. We're doing great. Uh-oh. 3rd and 10. Corner. Send it. We've had more successful first drives, it must be said. All right. LSU stops us to open. And now they're going for it on 4th and 1. I mean, I'm bringing the Thunder Smoke Blitz, and good luck to them. And they don't get there. Jackson Rasmussen gets the tackle for a loss on Josue Keith. That works. Or Josue, excuse me. Wow, we finally got a completion. It took 4 attempts, but we got there, guys. All right, we're in the red zone doing work, and Marvin Wall gets another touchdown. The corner post play never fails to disappoint me. Uh-oh. My defense is currently disappointing me. All right, we hold them to a field. It's not looking great. Never mind Jackson Conrad. 48-yard touchdown run. Thank you, good sir. Uh-oh. Big kickoff return from Josue Keith here. And they convert the 3rd and 11. Man. Our defense Not looking too hot. Julius McNeil with a sack changes that. They settle for another field goal. The triple option worked. We're never getting beaten ever again. Yeah, Burks is sacked. Rude. No dice. All right, we'll punt. That was a net 18-yard punt, by the way. Defense gets the stop. We're moving again. Jackson Conrad converts. Script, tight end attack, let it fly. And Tony Allison on the tight end attack play gets us the touchdown. They did engage 8. The AI loves engage 8. I'd be interested to know why. Because it seems more often than not they just get torched on it. 3rd and 1, let's just run it. All right, we'll switch to up tempo, see if we can't get into field goal range. That sack suggests otherwise. Yeah, all right. We shall punt. Can LSU get some points on the board here? No. The answer to that question was no. So doing pretty good through 1, though LSU drives for a touchdown. All right. 8-point game. And our offense has grinded to a halt. Mikey Hunter saves us with a conversion off the corners. Thank you, sir. Dive didn't work. And we punt. All right. Defense needs to get a 3 and out here, and they do. LSU needed 8. They got 7. And Burks is picked by a D lineman. Big man interception. And defense gets the stop. Okay. Our defense is starting to hold strong now. We get the conversion on 3rd and 6. That's huge. All right, we're going to run the ball a bit to try to just take some time off this clock. Convert to 3rd and 5. Francis Mack with a 28-yard reception gets us to the 1. We're going to surprise him with the stick play. That didn't work. It did not work, and Abraham Hine missed the PAT. That's not nothing, because now it's only a 14-point game. Okay. They got us on 3rd down there. I mean, credit to LSU. They're not going away. They get the 3rd and 9. But not that one. And they're kicking a field goal. I don't know why you would kick a field goal. Because now it's an 11-point game. You need 2 touchdowns anyway. Bit confused by the AI logic on that, but I am not going to complain. I am, however, going to run the triple option. All right, we convert the 3rd one. Now I think we're just going to run the ball a ton. Try to burn the rest of the clock here. We convert to 3rd and 3. Burn them on the corner post. We did not, in fact, burn them. All right. I mean, that was about as good a burning drive as you can get. 14 plays, 66 yards. Took almost 7 minutes off the clock. Pretty good. Let's see if LSU will get a score for pride. They will not. The pass falls incomplete. All right. And that'll be that. We beat LSU 30-16. To LSU's credit, I mean, they kept it pretty close. They got a turnover off of Burks, but our running game just destroyed them. They couldn't run it at all, but hey, it wasn't really a blowout. And you can't say that for a lot of other SEC opponents we have faced. Look at Francis Mack. Was that his first target of the season? No, it was his second. Look at him. Look at our boy. Anyway, Burks, I think, did okay. 17 of 28. Not the best completion percentage in the world, but he did have 2 touchdowns. Running backs did really well. Cesar Dixon probably wants to just punt me into the sun, which is fair. Only 1 sack on the day, but 10 tackles for a loss. That'll do. All right. We move to 10-0, and now mathematically, we have clinched the division regardless of what Tennessee does. Which is pretty good because obviously we didn't win the division last year, even though we had a better record than Tennessee. All right, David Sheffield is back. Let me move him back up to his third position. And looks like we got one recruit commit. Running back Dylan White commits. I'm going to be honest. He's not the best running back prospect I've seen. In reality, he's here because his ball skills, in the mid 70s, I can live with as a recruit, but he has A+ potential. And he's obviously going to redshirt year one, so he'll have 2 hits of development to hopefully get some better athleticism before he sees the field as a backup. So, pretty good get there, I think. Could become something. We are kind of keeping pace with Georgia. Also, it should be noted, I have yet to spend a single cent in NIL money. And depending on what happens with our recruiting visit for Colton Downs, that might change, but it's looking pretty good. And we're also getting Ian Hillard, who he's more of a blocking tight end, but I think he can really do the job also. So it's not the end of the world if we don't get Downs. All right, Sheffield is back. Bellamy is 2 weeks. Is he complaining about playing time since I dropped him? No. But I bet 40% is his cutoff. I'll keep that in mind. All right, 4-6 South Carolina. Unfortunately for South Carolina, they just haven't had a good sim. They had a good year last year. They went 9-4, but looks like this year they are regressing back a little bit. Yeah, I mean, hey, they destroyed Pitt. They beat a ranked Georgia. Georgia just doesn't have it this year, I guess. Then they beat Mizzou. They're going to get steamrolled by us and then maybe beat Kentucky, but ooh. Okay, they got a top 20 team in terms of sacks and sacks allowed. That could be potentially dangerous for our offensive line that is more run block heavy than pass block. But yeah, I mean, they're not good passing the ball. They're above average in rushing. Defensively, they just don't really have it. What's their time of possession? 64? Okay. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's much specifically to fear. They're throwing out their injured QB right now, Trenton Platt. How long's he been hurt for? Week 9, that guy. And he's been at South Carolina for a minute. Oy! I mean, he's a pretty good quarterback. If you look at him without injury, I mean, 90 arm strength, 97 accuracy, 84 IQ. It's not bad. Injuries suck. Hashtag analysis. All right, we're going to work on our downfield passing and stopping the run. I am also going to make an executive decision for this game and really this game only. Cesar Dixon and Jackson Conrad are going to flip just to get our boy a little more run. All right, we're projected to win by 30. Enough said. I have no recruits visiting for this home game, and so far in the sim, Bama is 6-0 against South Carolina. So I anticipate this to be another game where we might score 50. We'll see how it goes. But, you never know. It could become a close game. They've converted 2 third downs. They've converted 3 third downs in South Carolina. Draws first blood. They do miss the PAT. But hey, credit to them. They're on the board. Our defense has allowed a lot of opening scores. I think in almost every game. And it is a little disconcerting, but we're driving, we're moving, we're shaking. Cesar Dixon with the touchdown reception out the backfield. Thank you. I am already vindicated in my depth chart switch. Geez, they needed 10, they got 9. Our defense is looking a little shaky early, but we're running the ball. Let's just burn this clock. First and goal at the 1, and Rafael Greer runs it in. Back up by 8. Oy! To be fair, doing a safety blitz against quick slants might be the worst possible time. All right, they convert the 3rd and 12. They go for 1 instead of 2, so we're still in the lead by 1, but South Carolina's doing good work, and David Sheffield dropped it. David! I'm going to drop back into zone. Yeah, they ran it outside. Tackle for loss by Guadalupe. Okay, we are losing. They're crushing our defense right now. They're averaging 14 yards a pass and 1.1 yards a run. Craziness. All right. Rafael goes backwards. This is good. We get the 3rd and 4 conversion. I'm actually going to switch to normal tempo now. I lied. I'm going to go up tempo. Suddenly, we're in a kind of need to score situation against South Carolina. And Avery Leonard fumbled. Oh boy. Not good timing for that one. They will punt. But now we have a lot less time and much worse field position. All right. No dice there. We punt. Well, I'm going to be honest. That's about the worst first half we've played in a while, especially defensively. I mean, Platt is 13 of 14, 190 yards and a touchdown. Like, he's carving us up. It feels a bit rude. Burks is sacked. And Marvin Wall, 47-yard reception. Oh, we needed that. We needed that. Let's try to burn him on the pass. No dice, but Rafael Greer runs it in. I am going to go for 2. Cool. All right, now we're up by 6. That way they need the extra point to take the lead. And it's a pick 6. Trenton Platt picked off by Paul Wilcox, returned for a touchdown. I'm going for 2 again. Same play. Why stick? No dice. All right. All right, so now the game's been kind of blown wide open a bit. South Carolina goes 3 now. All right, that should do it if we play our cards right. And by that I mean we're just going to run the ball ad nauseum. Never mind, I tried passing it and Burks got sacked twice. Bit rude. Can we get a safety? We get the safety. Maxwell Winters sacks Trenton Platt. All right. It's a shame. It was, it was leading up to be a pretty close game, but I really need Burks to get these picks under control. Because we ran into that issue with Sawyer Cox last year as Fabian Boone forces Trevor Lucas recovers the fumble. We ran into that issue last season in the playoffs where Sawyer Cox threw an interception every playoff game. And I was like, sir, please, don't do this to me. And he did. Very rude about it. Greer runs it in. Doing pretty good now, up by 21. Good call on the engage 8. 4th and 1, they're going for it. It's in the house. Terry Dingle gets the tackle for loss. All right, cool. Get the conversion. Third and 7, full send. Nice move. Let me flip those two again. All right, Milton's going to get some run here. I'd like to get in the end zone one more time for pride. Pass from the 1. Avery Leonard gets us there. Cool. I mean, we're not going to get to 50, but we did get close as we beat South Carolina 44-16. This is unfortunate because genuinely for like a quarter and a half, or excuse me, for 2.5 quarters, it was a very close game. And then we score the touchdown and immediately get a pick six. Like that was a pretty close one. And then their offense just the wheels fell off, which is a bit rough, but hey, it was a good game there for a bit. Burks, I think, did okay. Not his best, but he averaged almost a first down every pass. Jesse Funk's stat line, 1 of 1, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. Very nice. Not our greatest day running the ball, but Greer had 3 touchdowns. Dixon did okay. Pretty good overall. Sheffield targeted 6 times, only caught 3. That's not nothing, but we move on. Good game from South Carolina they gave us. And it was at home, too. You know those fans were getting restless. All right, let me do the old depth chart flipperoo. Oh, wait, no, non-flipperoo. I had it backwards in my head. All right, who's still undefeated? USC is still undefeated. Kent State is undefeated. Oh, no, Fresno lost. Fresno State lost to San Diego State. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Matchup history, San Diego State. Okay, for reference, I joined Fresno State 2028. I left in 2035. For that whole time, we destroyed San Diego State, beat them 8 out of 8 times. And now all of a sudden, 2 years removed, they lose again. Useless. Anyway. Well, the undefeated teams are dropping like flies. Kent State, though, is still 11-0. And at the moment, they're in the playoffs. They could do it. Who do they face to close? Buffalo. Please beat Buffalo, Kent State. Please. No one commits, which is a bit rude. Man, if Kent State, if my 2 former teams, actually, no, Fresno State lost. So I don't know if they will be in the playoff anymore. Because even if they win the Mountain West, I don't think that gets them there. Blah. That hurts. I feel pain from that. Anyway. Ooh, okay. Auburn got themselves ranked. They have gone on a 5-game winning streak, including 50-point blowout to Memphis, 3 overtime win against Oklahoma, and a blowout against number 4 Florida. Juicy. How did this finish in a... Oh, I see. So Oklahoma did the thing I do, where if it one overtime, I'll just kick the extra point, but in the second overtime, I'll go for 2. Oklahoma did that, failed to get it, and then Auburn did it, and they went for 2. Maybe you're forced to go for 2 at that point in the game. But okay, so Auburn, they're starting to look pretty nice. Their offense looks fine. I mean, they have a slightly above average running game, very good passing game. They don't turn the ball over that much. Good for them. Yeah, they don't get a lot of big plays. Defensively, they're bad against the run, a little better against the pass. It's definitely a better Auburn team than last year. Logan Strickland, who Auburn recruited, paid $840,000 to. He then transfers. He's like, I'm gone after his redshirt year. Goes to Coastal Carolina. They start him for a year. He balls out, does decent, I would say. Then they bench him. They're like, oh, you're not going to be our starter anymore. He then goes back to Auburn, sits his junior year, and then he's their starter this year. And all of that racked him about, what, $6.5 million? Good gig if you can get it, man. 94 strength is huge. But yeah, high mid 80s. Nothing too scary. I think we're going to work on our run game and stopping their downfield passing game. All right. If we beat Auburn here, we will have gone undefeated in the regular season for our first time at Auburn. Not Auburn, at Alabama, excuse me. We have 2 recruits visiting, and the only one that matters is tight end Colton Downs. So far in the sim, Auburn has only beaten Bama once. So, let's see what happens this time around. The home atmosphere is thunderous for this one. We win the toss, we defer. Light rain, no wind. All right, the Thunder Smoke Blitz worked. Our defense gets a 3 and out. Did their star tight end drop the first down conversion? Yes. Do I care? No. We convert to 3rd and down. Thank you, Mikey. And Tony Allison gets us to the 2. Greer fails to run it in, so Sheffield will just get it off the hitch. Can't scare me like that, Greer. What a terrible kickoff return also. What was that kickoff return? Return the kickoff 14 yards to the 12-yard line. All right. I would have liked that really good field position, but I'll take what I can get. Screw it. Let's go for the 46-yarder. Hey, Abraham made it. Good man. I think if it was 4th and 3 or 4th and 2, then I go for it, but at that point, no. I did engage 8 against 4 verts, and we got a sack. That's awesome. 1st and 10 at our own 8. Well, let's just run it then. Never mind. Whoo, we got the conversion. Gotta burn some clock here. Quick passes are still nerfed. I don't know why. Play actions are working. And Cesar Dixon with a nice 29-yard touchdown run. Put us up 17-0. Terry Dingle gets another sack. Auburn is in pain as Raphael Greer runs it in for a 15-yard touchdown. So, yeah, this one looking like a blowout here. Let's see if I can score a touchdown with shoe clock on. That's going to be the goal. I'm not taking it off. 4 verts. Send it. No dice. Nah! Abraham missed. How could you? Now I'll go up tempo though. See if we can get in field goal range here. Instead, Burks is picked again. And we get an interception. Tony Milton picks off Strickland deep. Okay. No one wants to score in these last 2 minutes. Avery Leonard gets me 31. That'll do. We're at the 13. We have 1 timeout left. We're at the 1. Run it in. And Greer gets us there. 31-0. Oh, boy. That was a roller coaster. We got an interception. They got an interception. We end up scoring. Uh-oh. Pass dropped by who? David, I have legitimate concerns about the amount of drops you've been having. Cade Baxter, 47-yard pass. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And Carson Tam with the touchdown. And hey, Alberto Frank got a pick. Good for him. Good for him. David Sheffield redemption, 34-yard touchdown. The doors have been blown off. Luke Parker getting a sack now. This is just pure domination. Oh, no. They tackled Greer for a loss. Okay. All right. The backups are now in on offense. And Jesse Funk with an 8-yard touchdown run off the option. Doing work. Play action. It worked. Thank you, Carson. See if we can burn him. Carson Tam gets me 12, and Aaron Middleton runs it in for a 14-yard touchdown. Will we get to 60? Rowan Lewis forces the fumble. Tony Milton recovers. Hashtag we won 60. Hashtag run it in. 66. Oh, poor Auburn. Poor Auburn. And that'll do it. We beat Auburn 66-0. Massacre in Tuscaloosa. 24-33. 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did have the pick. Burks did. But great running day also from the lads. Very good, very good, very good. 4 sacks also. 2 picks. 9 extra points made. All right. We advance. We have gone undefeated in the regular season. Now the question becomes, who is our opponent in the SEC championship game? Is it Georgia? No, it's not Georgia. Is it Florida? Let us see. It is Florida. Okay. It is Florida. Bellamy is back to being healthy. So him and Frank will switch. All right. Any recruiting results? 3 recruits commit. 5-star O-line JUCO guy, Lance Davies. He's the best JUCO player in the country. The pass block needs some work, I admit. But he'll be a good back-end starter for us. Already has 88 strength. Athlete Andre Stevens, who again we're going to try out at defensive line, has committed. And finally, Liam Littlejohn. There's some depth at wide receiver. And that really couldn't hurt, especially because we have a lot of really, really good wide receivers that all want playing time. All right, so on the visit, we got 1,300 points. That brings us 542 ahead on downs, which is pretty good. And I'm still waiting on all these other guys to even say they want to commit soon. But I guess we'll have to wait. We're not going to have Jesus Frazier for the SEC championship game, which that is what it is. Kent State still undefeated. All they have to do is beat 6-6 Central Michigan. Please. Please do so. Fresno State, I'm going to need you to beat Air Force, please. If they don't, it's going to be really sad. I assume also that we're going to get the bye regardless of if we win or lose. Because even Florida's 4. So it's not like they would be taking a bye spot. But you never know. All right. Did Georgia offer money? No. Not only that, they've stopped doing their ace pitch for downs. So he should be ours. No issue there. All right. Florida. Hello. They're 10-2 so far this year. Their only losses to Kentucky and Auburn. They beat ranked MSU, LSU, Mississippi State, Texas. They just beat Georgia in their rivalry game. Oy. Their defense is horrendous against the pass, but pretty good against the run. They have a top 5 passing offense in terms of yards per attempt. They're number 1 in the country in big plays. That's genuinely not a good sign for us. Kumst is your quarterback. Jamari McIntosh, JUCO guy that they redshirted year 1. He was a backup year 2, and year 3 he is crushing it for them. Yeah, he has a cannon. He has great IQ. Okay, so I think definitely we need to work on limiting their downfield passing, and we are going to work on our rushing attack, I think, as is R1. All right, let's get this party started. We're favored by 16.5 points. So far in the sim, Bama has beaten Florida 8 times out of 9, including last year when I beat them 27-3. So, this is the SEC Championship history. Florida won it last year after Tennessee made it in over us and then got embarrassed. So, we'll see how we do. I think Florida genuinely is one of the teams that could actually beat us, but we'll see how it goes. They elect to defer. That's actually fine by me, because I think if we can get ahead by 7 early, we'll be in pretty good shape. I will punt. I might regret that, but we'll see. Lawrence Mosley getting the sack, the true freshman. 3rd and 13. They failed to convert. All right, we got the ball back. Cool. There we go. Our run game isn't looking too great, but we're still moving. We're shaking. At the 11, and Mikey Hunter with the touchdown off the slants. We draw first blood. "52-yard field goal missed." But I respect the AI for going for the long field goal. Now we punt. Ooh. Burn him at the 3. Blitz. Persons. All right. Florida is driving. They're going for it on 4th and 3. They're in trips. I'm going to blitz 1 linebacker. And they slanted to the side that I was blitzing the linebacker on. Fair enough. It happens. Jeez, they converted on 3rd and 7, but not on 3rd and 12. We hold them to a field goal. How long was that drive? 20 plays, 9 minutes. That is the longest drive I think I've ever seen. Like, that was actually crazy. All right, up tempo is coming on. There we go. 24-yard pass to open. And 4 verts to Carson Tam. 41-yard touchdown. We're up by 11. That's so rough. They took 20 plays in 9 minutes just to get a field goal. We get a touchdown on essentially a Hail Mary. That is rough. Ooh, great punt return from Sheffield. We are almost in field goal range now. We could get something here. There we go. Mikey gets us to the 10. We will kick the field goal. Go up by 14, which is good because Florida starts with the ball. There's their deep play. 67-yard pass. We did cover 2 drop, and they just burned it. I don't know how they burned it, but they burned it. And they get in the end zone. Okay. 7-point game. David Sheffield with a 47-yard kickoff return. Thank you, sir. Earn that paycheck. There we go. We get the conversion on 3rd and 10. We're moving. We're shaking. We have been completely stopped. All right. Field goal, back up by 10. And Florida has a good kickoff return themselves. And the wheels are falling off our defense a little bit. They get the conversion. Okay, back to being a 3-point game. 27-yard pass to Mikey. That works. We needed 8 yards. We got 9. I'm not worried. You're worried. Let's try an outside handoff. Jackson Conrad gets in the end zone. We're back up by 10. I think we just need to keep scoring. And Sean Ballard with a tackle for a loss on 3rd down. That's actually huge. Now we can just run the ball. We are going to burn a lot of clock. Well, we're not going to burn that much because our running is so successful. Raphael Greer runs it in. Okay. Didn't expect that. All right, up by 17. I think that should be game. Also, just by nature of the clock. And they failed to convert on 4th down. We're just going to run the ball now. The backups are in on offense. 2 incompletions. All right, field goal. And they get the 4th down that time. And they get another big play, 37-yard pass for a touchdown. Cool. All right, we recovered the onside kick. That'll do. They call a timeout, which is kind of hilarious. And we get an 18-yard pass because of it. Lol. All right. We beat Florida in the SEC championship game 37-24. I think I was right in that it was a really close game. But I think the big difference is just the success of the run game. It's like they ran it a little bit more than us, but they did not have near as much success. Not Burks' best day, I wouldn't say, in terms of completions, but he did get a pair of touchdowns, which is good. Hunter was targeted 10 times, only had 5 catches. That's another big reason. 8 tackles for loss, a pair of sacks. Pretty overall, I mean, David Sheffield, 1 punt return, 32 yards. That'll help the average. So, we are SEC champions. Was it ever in doubt? Answer yes. And we get an achievement, win your conference championship 10 times. For reference, we won the MAC once at Kent State. We won the Mountain West 8 times with Fresno State, and then we just won the SEC with Alabama. Let's skip to the playoff bracket and the bowl invites. Where are we? Where are Fresno State? Where is Kent State? They're all in! Yes! My 2 former teams, Kent State at number 6, Fresno State at 9. Good. Florida also makes it. They finished 10th. That's awesome. Kent State's in at 6. That's so cool. I'm a happy man now. Nothing else matters. Jesus Frazier is fully healed. We're in business. Oh boy, that's awesome. That's so cool. All right, we had 2 recruits commit. The top defensive line recruit, Travis Richmond, commits. He is without question going to redshirt because I need that strength to be so much higher. But already pretty good block shed pursuit to start. Tight end Ian Hillard, who wants to be a star, which is good because our tight end room is looking a little shaky after next season. So he's going to redshirt, be pretty good year 2. Probably going to start his redshirt freshman year, if we're being honest. I'm so happy that both Kent State and Fresno State made it in. That makes me happy. All right. We are going to advance past the awards week and see what awards did we take home. Player of the Year goes to Dane Garcia, the OSU QB, Anthony Burks. finishes third with 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, did have 6 picks. All right. Defensive player of the year goes to Brandon Curry, the Notre Dame wunderkind. Terry Dingle, by the way, finishes 9th. Also, our former guy, Bradley Chang, finishes 7th. So good for him. Terry, by the way, 55 tackles, 18 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. Crazy. Freshman of the year? Oh, we had some people. Marvin Wall gets freshman of the year. 64 catches, 936 yards, 6 touchdowns to his name. Daniel Payne, 4th, with 17 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, a pressure, a forced fumble, 9 passes defense. Lawrence Mosley, 5th, 34 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Julius McNeil, even, at 9th, 19 tackles, 6 for a loss, 4 sacks, 4 pressures, a pick. The future is gleamingly bright. Coach of the year, excuse me? A 9-3 Syracuse. You're going to tell me with a straight face that a guy that took I am upset. Oscar Stahl took Kent State undefeated, made him in the playoff. He didn't even win MAC Coach of the Year. I am upset. All-Americans, who cares? First team offense, Rafael Greer makes it, 1,200 yards, 21 touchdowns. Elisha Guy, Jamari Menchaca, Landon Haley all make it at offensive line. Defensive line, Terry Dingle makes it. Luis Silva makes it. 12 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 11 pressures, a couple picks. And Paul Wilcox at safety. That's good for him. He's our second safety. 24 tackles, a couple picks, the pick 6. That probably helped the math. Second team offense, Marvin Wall at wide receiver. And Abraham High at kicker. 19 of 23 kicking, 58 of 60 extra points. Second team defense for safety Jackson Rasmussen. 18 tackles, 5 for a loss, couple pressures, couple picks. And third team All-American, Anthony Burks at quarterback. All right, pretty good. Let me look really quick. So all freshmen, first team, Marvin Wall, Abraham Hyatt kicker, Mosley at D-line, McNeil linebacker, Payne at corner, Gilberto Frank at safety. Second team, all freshmen, Hyatt punter. Okay. All right, let's look at conference. SEC, first team offense, Burks, Greer, Wall, Mikey Hunter makes it, 753 yards, 5 touchdowns. Abraham Hyatt kicker and those 3 linemen make it. Defensively, Dingle, Silva, Wilcox, High. Second team All-SEC, Sheffield makes it at wide receiver. 650 yards, 6 touchdowns. Allison at tight end, 313 yards, 4 touchdowns. Rush and Davis round out the group at O-line. Winters makes it, 8 tackles for loss, couple sacks. Gordon makes it, 10 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Rasmussen at safety. All right. Not too shabby. Anyone commit? Yes. 3 players committed. 5-star safety, Abraham Roberson, who I think I am going to play at safety because his path to playing time is going to be more secure there after a redshirt year. 4-star linebacker, Bradley Adams, just your classic, low 70s defender, really high potential. I think he can be really good. And then 4-star corner Mateo Little, who definitely needs to redshirt. He has 54 IQ, 65 tackling. But he's quick. He's got good man coverage abilities. Could be a good gift for us. That brings me down to 3 recruits. And it must be said, I am 9,700 points ahead on one of them and 10,000 points ahead on the other. I don't possibly know what they could be waiting on. But that's fine. All right, let's advance the week through week 1 of the games. See what transpired. I really hope I don't face Kent State or Fresno State because we're going to destroy them. Oh, no. All right, fair enough. Kent State beat Army. Kent State beat Army. They won a playoff game. That's awesome. Let's go. Kent State won a playoff game. I'm so happy. And we face. All right, so Fresno State blew out Maryland. USC beat Florida State. Kent State beat Army by 9. And Mississippi State beat Florida by 11. Okay. So we face Fresno State again. I feel so bad. How many times must we face them? May commit soon. Well, I wish your two peers on this list would commit soon. Gonna be honest. All right, so we face Fresno State for the first time this season. They're 13-1. Their only loss, a classic game against San Diego State. They've beaten everyone else, including a ranked TCU team. They just beat Maryland in first playoff game. Wow. Number 1 in the country, points per game, yards per game. Number 3 in rushing. Second in pass yards per game. Their offense, dynamite. Defense also solid. Top 5, top 10 rushing team. Passing needs a bit of work. Who's your QB? Caden Lawson. It's a shame they wasted a year of his eligibility by being a backup, but that's beside the point. Idiots. Whatever. I'm not bitter at all. Yep, so it looks like I recruited a pretty good QB there. That said, he had horrible development. His arm strength, accuracy didn't move. His IQ went down. Oh no. Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter that they wasted a year of his eligibility. Somehow it doesn't matter. But he's been pretty good. 3,800 yards, 32 touchdowns, flinging the ball around. Okay. Who do they got at running back still? Damon Taylor leading the way. Ty Dolan. Can I recruit him or can I recruit him? Running back of the year, first team all running back. My God. Yeah, and he suffered a season-ending injury last year, which sucked. But this year, turns on the Jets and balls out. I am so good at this recruiting thing, people. Look at that. In 2 development hits, his ball carrier vision jumped from an 86 to a 106. Crazy. Wide receiver room still stacked? Yep. Still got Ricardo, still got Spence, but most of these guys are new. Oh, Adrian Beck isn't playing. That's kind of sad. Man, I'm a little upset at that because I am on the record saying that had I stayed at Fresno State, I would have cut Adrian Beck to let him play elsewhere. But, oh well. All right, practice focus. This is very simple. We're going to work on our passing game and stopping their running game. Here we go. So last year, for those who didn't watch, we faced Fresno State twice. Once in the regular season, once in the national title. We blew them out both times. That said, I mean, based on talent, it looks like this year's Fresno State team is better. So we'll see how they dance today. These heads. They elect to receive, which is fine by me. Uh-oh. All right. Defense gets a stop, but we're at the 1. And Greer fumbles. How many fumbles has he had this year? That's right. 0. And he fumbles in the playoff game. They get the ball at the 3. Well then. Third goal at the 2. Ah, they got in. All right. Well, that's about as awkward a start as you could have, but our offense is driving. We're moving. We're shaking. We convert the 3rd and 2. Good man. All right, we have to settle for a field goal. Not looking too pretty, but a defense gets a 3-and-out. I think we'll be fine. Our defense, I think, is good enough. I'm going to finish my sentence really quick. As I was saying, I think our defense is good enough to keep their offense in check. As long as our offense scores, we'll be fine. And then, before I can finish that long winded sentence, Avery Leonard, 43-yard touchdown pass. We're up by 3. And Leo Ball gets a sack. Fresno State punts. Horrendous decision to do a read option there. Yeah, we punt. That was a bad play call. Uh-oh. They're driving. They're moving. And they get in. All right, down by 4. I'm going to turn on up tempo here. I lied. I'm going to go down to normal. Braden Valentine, my old friend, how could you do this to me? All right, we get the field goal. 1-point game. Defense gets a stop. I mean, we're going to go for it. See if we can at least get into field goal range to take that lead back. There we go. We're at the 33, so it'd be a pretty long field goal. At the 12, we could score here. And we do. Avery Leonard with another touchdown. Have a day, sir. We go up by 6. I should have gone for 2 there. I wasn't thinking. Terry Dingle gets a sack, and that's that. And we start with the ball to start the second half. And Anthony Burks intercepted by Bradley Chang. How could you, Bradley? All right, Nathan Locke makes a field goal. How has Nathan Locke been doing as a kicker this year? His senior year. Oh, now you develop accuracy. Oh, boy. Yeah, he really was bad that sophomore year. Man alive. All right. Well, only up by 3. I think our defense isn't doing great, but our offense really isn't helping. David Sheffield, 56-yard touchdown, going deep. We're just banking on big plays to see us through this game. And they get one of their own. Emmanuel Clements with a 60-yard pass on the 4 verts. Okay, 3-point game again. How often have we ran the ball? Yeah, we've only ran it 16 times. We need to get back to running it a little bit. Burn some clock. Take some time. Do a little play action boot. It did not work. We get the touchdown though. David Sheffield. Extra point is good. Back up by 10. Damon Taylor, 40-yard rush. Go away. They get a touchdown. This is turning into a shootout. It's been a while since we had one of these. Usually our close games are low scoring. And we punt. Fresno State can take the lead with another touchdown. And they won't get it because Jackson Rasmussen picks off Lawson. Okay. Let's run the ball a bit. Raphael Greer gets us in. 10-point lead again. 6 minutes left. This one's going to come down to the wire, I think. Never mind. 4th and 6. The Cowards are punting. And we get the first down. That should be game. I'm going to run it here, accepting the fact that I'm not going to get the first down, but I want them to burn their last time out. Cool. All right. Here we go. Nickel blitz. Let's be aggressive. Incomplete. That is your ball game. We beat Fresno State 41-31. It must be said, though, that was a very close game. Very close. I think the deciding stretch, I think, was at the end of the first half, where in essentially a minute and a half, we scored 10 points. Like that That really did it. We went from being four down to six ahead, and then it was just, touchdown, 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 touchdown. So overall, really good win. Burks, 384 yards. I think that is a single game high from him, if memory serves. Four touchdowns, threw the pick again. Greer, 113 yards, one touchdown. He did really, really good. Avery Leonard had the game of his career, six catches, 104 yards, two touchdowns. Sheffield, pair of touchdowns also. Very, very good from the men. All right. So for the second year in a row, we send Fresno State home in the playoffs. It is a shame, but none of that matters. Did Kent State beat Oregon? Did it happen? Did it? No. Oregon won 31-14. Boo. But immense credit to Kent State, 14-0 with a playoff victory. Hey, that's more than I ever achieved at Kent State. Good for them. One recruit commit. It is five-star linebacker Trevor Bush. In my opinion, the best linebacker recruit in the country. He's already got 86 tackling, 90 defensive IQ. He has A- potential, superstar. He's going to play. He's definitely going to play as a true freshman because I'm losing Silva, Winters, Boone, Guadalupe Hale might transfer, Julius McNeil might transfer. 30%'s the cutoff, isn't it? Do I slam them up in the depth chart? Actually, I'm doing this. This is harsh on Boone and Gordon, but I'm doing it. Let's try to just get a little tick up in the percentages. Let's try to make it happen and get them both at 30% so that they don't threaten to transfer. Oh boy. All right, so we will get Bush off the list. That brings us down to two recruits. I don't know why Notre Dame just offered a scholarship to a guy they're 9,000 points behind, but I'm not going to question it. Okay. Ohio State. Hello. 11-3 this season. Three regular season losses is rough. They lost to Texas in two overtimes, Michigan State by 30 points. They lost a close one to USC. However, they avenged it, won the Big Ten, hence why they're in the playoff. They then beat USC again in overtime, and now they're facing yours truly. Wow, they are a bottom third rushing team. They are, however, number one in pass yards per game. Fair enough. Really good passing defense, above average rush defense. Who is your quarterback? All right, it's Dane Garcia, the Heisman. Heisman winner, Mr. Garcia, who is a sophomore, by the way. 4,600 yards, almost 38 touchdowns, only 5 picks. Yeah, he looks pretty good. It must be said. 104 arm strength, 101 accuracy. Oh boy. I think we're going to work on our passing game and stopping their passing game. And we're just going to hope that we don't get burned by Mr. Garcia. We're favored by 6.5 points. So far in the sim, Alabama and OSU face each other 7 times, 6 of which Bama has won. We'll see if we can keep that streak alive. OSU calls heads. It is tails. We will defer. The Thunder Smoke is never going to be as successful as I want, is it? But the Blitz gets home finally. Terry Dingle with the strip sack. Leo Ball recovers, and we get the ball back in Ohio State territory. That'll do. That'll do. And Marvin Wall gets us in the end zone with a 3-yard in route. Thank you. Or out route, excuse me. That'll do. They don't convert the 3rd and 13. Okay. Now, we're going to run the ball. Because they're not great against the run. We don't get any juice there, though, unfortunately. So OSU has a chance to match, and they do. I went aggressive with the blitz. They burn us, and they're on the board. All right, as I was saying, I think we're going to run the ball a bit more, certainly more than against Fresno State, because they're not as good against the run. And what we were kind of missing in Fresno State's game was we were getting down the field so quickly that Fresno State kept having time to match. And Burks is picked again. Wow. All right. And this time around, another fumble. Tony Milton forces. Jesus Frazier recovers. Welcome back from the injured list. Cade Baxter. 31-yard touchdown pass over the middle. We're up by 7. We're moving. Good sack there. They drop the pass. That's a shame. But they convert the 3rd and 12. Man alive. There we go. We don't stop them on 3rd down. We stop them there, though, and they settle for a field goal. That's pretty big. We'll go up-tempo then. Try to get at least a field goal here. There we go. We're at the 19. And Burks is picked again. Brian Watson picks him off. Man, I mean, if you just look at his game log, he threw an interception against Georgia. And then, since the Tennessee game, 1 pick, 1 pick, 1 pick, 1 pick, 1 pick, 0 against Florida, 1 pick against Fresno, now 2 against OSU. Man. Oh, he won SEC Player of the Year. I didn't notice. Okay. OSU has a long way to go if they want to try to score points here. They will not. They punt, but Sheffield muffs it. And OSU is in field goal range, and they get 3 free points. Well, that ended about as poorly as you can imagine. We were going for a nice drive. We were well in field goal range. Picked. And then muffed the punt. So disappointing. Okay. It's time that we start getting back in that end zone. We're already in their red zone, which is a pretty good start to things. We don't get nothing after that. Field goal it is. All right, 4. Nice Leo Ball tackle for a loss. And David Sheffield with a nice 36-yard punt return, trying to get some redemption here. 45-yarder. Let's kick it. He missed. All right. Yeah. Maybe I should have gone for that there. But OSU, 3 and out. So we still have the momentum. We convert the 3rd and 12. That's huge. That is huge. 4th quarter begins, and Rafael Greer runs it in. Extra point is good. 11-point game. Lawrence Mosley, true freshman, gets the sack. All right. I think if we score a touchdown, that should be enough to put the game away. Field goal, things might get a little bit dicey, but I'm still confident. And there's your touchdown. Marvin Wall. See you later, Ohio State. Sayonara. The engage 8 worked. They kick a field goal for pride, I guess. I'm not going to question it. Maybe I should. We punt. Will OSU get more points for pride? No, they will not. That will do it. Excuse me. We beat OSU 31-16. Really close game. We were only 4 of 10 on third down. Not great. I think Burks, again, the 2 interceptions hurt. Our run game was pretty good overall, I would say, but I mean, muffed punt, missed kick, 2 interceptions. That's how the game was close. And to be fair, we had all that and we still won by double digits. Like, I think that also demonstrates our quality. And our final 2 commits have put pen to paper. Finally. Thank you, lads. Defensive lineman Jacob Gulati commits, third best D lineman. He's obviously going to redshirt. His IQ isn't there. His tackling isn't there. He needs the red shirt. Tight end Colton Downs will also redshirt. A lot of this will depend on what happens at tight end, if both of our juniors stay or if one of them goes in the draft or what happens. But at the moment, they're chilling. All right, McNeil is at 30, so he's safe. Guadalupe Hale is at 28. I can't drop Winters for them. That would be a bit silly. I think here's what I'll do. I'll keep it that, and I'll cut it down to 5. This is extremely harsh on Chandler Gordon. Quite harsh. Actually, yeah, I think in that case, Gordon over Boone. So yeah, we're shortening up our linebacking room here. All right, so both of those guys committed. That means we now have 0 players on our target list. Everyone assigned. We assigned 20 recruits, 2 quarterbacks, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 offensive linemen, a kicker, 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 2 corners, and 1 safety. But none of that matters. We're in the national championship game once again. This time around facing Notre Dame, who, since we beat them, they went on to beat 3 ACC opponents. They beat Florida State in the ACC championship, beat Mississippi State by double digits, destroyed Oregon 38-3, and now they find themselves back against me. What awards did Bullock win this time around? Yeah, ACC Player of the Year, QB of the Year. Yeah. All right. I think a big question this game is simply, can we stay turnover free? Because the turnovers were the only reason that this OSU game was close. So I think if we play a clean game, we should be able to handle this. So, I mean, last year we beat Notre Dame by 25 points. Earlier this year, we beat them by 21 points. This is a team we can handle. Right here, this is Notre Dame's 3rd appearance in the national championship. Obviously, their 2nd appearance was when we lost to them as Fresno State on a missed kick to end things. Very sad. This time around, though, we are going for vengeance. Heads is the call. It is heads, and Notre Dame elects to defer, just like they did in the regular season, so the AI is consistent there. Our goal, very simple. Score a touchdown. Go ahead first. And we're already at the 23. We're already in the red zone. Look at us go. Avery Leonard is getting involved. Jackson Conrad, 17-yard run for a touchdown against Engage 8. Yeah, okay. Avery is still 4th. All right. So I was seeing his name pop up a lot. And our defense gets a 3-and-out to open. We're so back. Raphael Greer, 54 yards to the 1, and then a 1-yard touchdown. We are already up 14-0. And it has only been 8 minutes. Oh, and Notre Dame, another 3-and-out. This is going towards a blowout. I had to say something. Why did I open my mouth as Burks throws an interception at midfield? Can our defense get the stop? Nope. I went for a blitz there to try to hit him out of field goal range. They burn us over the top, and Notre Dame is on the board. And then they sack me. Rude. All right, we'll punt. There we go. Defense gets a stop. The jet sweep failed miserably. Somebody write that down for future reference. Cade Baxter gets him on the play action. We're cooking. Oh, 49-yard field goal. I don't think he makes. I'm going to punt it here and hope we burn them at like the 2. 18. Yeah, he had a good punt return on that also. All right. And Notre Dame gets in the end zone. We now have a tied game going into it. However, we're trying to get back in field goal range here. There we go. We get the conversion. We're in the red zone. I would like a touchdown, actually. Let's run the ball a little bit. Bad call. They sacked us. Dang. All right, field goal. And he missed. This is the second time in the national championship one of my kickers has missed a chip shot field goal. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like it. Notre Dame nearly got in field goal range there. Third and 5. They convert. But they settled for a field goal. Okay. I mean, Julius McNeil is good in coverage. Hale is much less so. Gordon gets burned a lot, which is why I don't really want him that far up there. All right. Well, that went from bad to less than ideal pretty quickly. There we go. Good conversion there. Let's try play action screen. It didn't really work. But it's fine. It's fine. 3rd and 4, I'm going to run it. I'm going for it. 4th and 1, right up the middle. Send it. Greer gets us 3. Okay. Conrad going backwards isn't what I wanted. And High missed again. Oy. 3rd and 10, drop the safety. They get us. Man alive. Ooh. They're going for it on 4th and 2. Drop the safety. And they don't get it. Luis Silva with the pass deflection. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're driving. Well, that's a big time conversion. 24-yard pass on 3rd and 12. Huge. Huge. Raphael Greer runs it in. Extra points good. We're up by 4. All right. Notre Dame needs a touchdown. And they don't get it. 3-and-out. We have the ball back. Let's go. Duh. 3-and-out for us also. Not good. They convert to 3rd and 3. Sure. Clutch sack by Luke Parker. 3rd and 7. Ugh. They get that too. They're burning us. 3rd and 9. They get the 3rd and 9 also. And they're in the end zone. Wow. Talk about a display. I mean, we even got 2 sacks that drive. They had 3rd and 3 converted, 3rd and 7 converted, 3rd and 9 converted. Just burned us. Well, we're going up tempo. We have all timeouts to get into field goal range. Let's party. All right, we're at our own 47. Deep passes the rest of the way. I can't really afford anything else. There we go. We're at the 39. We're also out of timeouts. Just gets us there. Okay. 37-yard field goal to tie the game, send us into overtime. So far, it must be said, Abraham is 0 for 2 on kicks. The chance at redemption. It's good! We tie it up with 7 seconds remaining. And we get the stop. All right. I've had enough of this. Gordon, go. Boone, go. Hale over McNeil. No, that's a lie. McNeil over Hale. Okay. Overtime. Notre Dame calls heads. It is heads. We will start overtime on defense because I want to know where we stand when I go for it on offense. So we're going to open on defense. Good stop, 3rd and 10. They don't get it, and they miss the field goal. Philip Sargent missed the 42-yard field goal. ACC Kicker of the Year, All-American kicker misses it. Oh, boy. And he's a senior. That could have been the last kick of his college career. Oh, no. Okay. Very simple. If we score any points whatsoever, field goal, touchdown, we win the game. Doesn't matter how it happens. And we get the touchdown. Marvin Wall beats the safety. Alabama champions in overtime. Everyone can now exhale. Yeah, so it wouldn't have mattered if we made the field goal anyway, but nonetheless, we beat Notre Dame 30-24. What a game. We scored 14 in the first quarter, 10 in the fourth quarter, and just nothing in between. Oh boy, what a game. That was a heck of a game. Burks, 318 yards, got a touchdown, did throw the pick. Greer did really well. Conrad was solid. Happy with them. Marvin Wall, 9 catches, 110 yards, touchdown. Both Leonard and Hunter, 60-plus yards. Very good. Defense, it wasn't their best day, but, we had a couple missed kicks, didn't do them any favors. But we won. Woo! We won. So that was a game. That was a game right there. Imagine the ratings. Craziness. Achievements. Win an all-time classic national championship game and keep 5 player promises in the same season. We get them both. That is my 4th national title. This save. 2 with Fresno State, 2 with Bama. It is an all-time classic. Wow. That's crazy. I remember there being a place to see the classics. Is it Game History? No, that's us. Aha! Certified Classics. Where is that one? Ooh! It's 6th in Certified Classic score. Nice. That'll do. All right, we get the win. We have exceeded the AD expectations. That'll do. We kept every single player promise. We promised 8 players things from making an All-American team, winning the SEC, target, snap percentage. We keep them all for a boost of 19 to our integrity, meaning it is now a maxed out. That'll do. That'll do. And I can't see the depth chart to see if they're unhappy. What a shame. Did they get the percentages? Nope. Guadalupe Hale, 29%. All right, so Guadalupe, he's going to threaten to transfer. Julius McNeil, though, will want to stay. So I think I'm probably just going to let Guadalupe walk, to be honest. But who cares about that? We just won the title. Let us advance. We're doing work here. I don't think I want to swap any skill badges. I think the O line too, I definitely need to keep. The skill players getting +2 catching boost, honestly, that I might change, but I don't love any of the alternatives that I have, so I think we'll keep that all the same. So, no changes for me. My offensive coordinator, Damian Ford, will bring his offensive level to the max. And defensive coordinator, we will bring his one downgrade. What? Because he's old? Rude? Okay, I'll drop his offense from a 2 to a 1. How dare you? Poor man. He lost XP and he went down a level. Kyler, please. He might retire, to be fair. We'll see. Anyone leaving? Keep my options open. Keep my options open. All right. I'm not going to renegotiate anything. Let's see if any of my who would be interested in me? Auburn, Kentucky, Duke, BYU. Should I just go to Georgia Southern? Now, obviously, I'm going to stay at Bama for one more season. And Damian Ford has gotten the job at Auburn as their head coach. He was my offensive coordinator for both years at Bama so far. 2 titles. Au revoir, my friend. Au revoir. Well, that means I need a new offensive coordinator. The only thing I really care about is that the playbook is the pistol, and I'm going to need a guy with a decent level. So let me do level here. Nathan Wiggins at the top. Ethan Mueller. Do I take Fresno's guy? No, that'd be mean. Well, that would be a bit rude. Cameron Ramsey at Cal. I hate that it resets every time. I want someone with maxed out offense. So Wiggins, Mueller, Pollard here. Ahmad Rubio, previously of Sam Houston State and Liberty. He's done pretty well at Liberty. And he's got some pretty good wide receiver skill badges. Ooh, a tight end boost. And he buffs my QB also. Yeah, I think Ahmad Rubio is the get. Let's get him in the building. We're going to do 4-year insured contract. Defensive coordinator. Nobody wants Kyler Cruz. We will retain him as my defensive coordinator. I don't care that he's old enough to retire and get good benefits. I care not. He has been my defensive coordinator for 3 years and he will remain. So, league coaching changes in the SEC. Obviously, Auburn has a new head coach with our offensive coordinator, Damian Ford, going. Kentucky has a new head coach. OSU's offensive coordinator coming in. Missouri has a new head coach. Pretty good. Retirements. None of my former guys have retired. Let's save in advance. All right, before we get into the players leaving, crap, Cade Baxter's gone, whatever. Hold on, did that say... Well, I think I just saw something that solves our QB situation. Let me look at my QB tree so far. So Caleb Monroe, so far, In his 2 years at Fresno State, he's made the playoffs both year, won the MAC both year. Very good, sir. Oscar Stahl has won the MAC for his second year at for the second time at Kent State and made the playoff. The AD opinion of him is now all the way up to 100. Well done. Well done to him. Chase Rodriguez had his best year yet at North Texas on his third contract. 7-6, won a bowl game. That's awesome. I love that one of my guys just went to this like bad school and is just building it up as a program. That's really fun. I'm happy for him. All right, Rodriguez. Christian Pi at A&M. Went 7-6 this past year, lost the bowl game, met expectations, but I mean, overall, he's been fine. Made a bowl game every year competing in the SEC. No complaints. And then Efrain Keller made a bowl game but lost it. But the only reason he met expectation is because he set the bar so high by making the playoffs last year. Like, that's the only reason. So, my coaching tree is doing pretty good. Doing pretty good, I would say. I'll take that. And now Damian Ford is off to Auburn. So that leaves Hayden Madrano as the only other coordinator who has not gotten a head coaching job. And it must be said, he has bounced to like 4 different schools since me. So I'm surprised he left UTEP when he was doing well. Okay, so players leaving. Anthony Burks is going for the draft. That solves my QB issue rather immediately. So Burks is going for the draft, third-team All-American, SEC player and QB of the year. 70% completion all rounded up for him. Almost 4,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, 10 picks. QBR of 163. Very well done for a one-year JUCO guy. No complaints there. Cade Baxter is entering the draft. So I only got 1 year from him because I redshirted him his first JUCO year. But he gave me 32 catches, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Quietly, I'm a little annoyed. It still didn't make sense to redshirt him last year. He would have been our third tight end. But that is a bit annoying. Safety Paul Wilcox also wants to declare for the draft. First team All-American safety and safety of the year now wants to go. See, here's the thing. If we lose Wilcox, this is our safety room. Bellamy would be number 1. Butler would be number 2. Gilberto, I can promise more playing time because he'll be 3. Like, that's honestly not a bad room. To convince him to stay, I'd have to promise him that we'd win a natty or pay him $1.6 million. I think I am going to... I'll promise him we'll win the whole thing, and I'll keep him. So what that means is it's going to be him, Bellamy, and Butler up top. So Gilberto Frank will transfer. That does make my succession at safety a little awkward because I'll have 3 seniors up top. But I think to keep a guy of Wilcox's value, I have to do it. So, graduating players. Quarterback. No one is graduating. Running back. Raphael Greer, who was a 1-year rental for us via Notre Dame, Missouri, and Kansas. Put up 1,500 yards, 25 touchdowns. Also, some yards in the air as well. Got All-American SEC running back of the year and first team All-SEC. Great running back. I would have liked to have him for more. But hey, he did really well at Kansas. Did really well for us. Good career for him. Really good career. Wide receiver, we're losing the 2-headed dragon punch. Mikey Hunter goes 3,300 yards in his career, 19 touchdowns. Also had a kick return for a touchdown. David Sheffield, 1,400 yards in his career, 20 touchdowns. Also a rushing touchdown and a very, very admirable returner also. We're going to miss these guys in terms of the fact they were some of our best offensive players, but we got some young receivers waiting in the wings. Tight end, we're losing no one. Offensive line, we salute. We're losing essentially our top 7. We're losing 7 out of our top 8 offensive linemen. Elisha Guy, All-American, 3-time All-Conference, 83 pancakes. Jamari Menchaca, straight All-American, 2-time All-Conference, 68 pancakes. Jason Drew, nearly 50 pancakes. Alexander Rush, the transfer, All-Conference, 45 pancakes. Damon Davis, the surprise of this group, in my opinion, All-Conference, 60 pancakes. Johnny Ruin, who is a JUCO guy that I transferred from tight end to O-line, hence those receiving stats, 19 pancakes, also 7 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown, followed by Mitchell Marshall, 31 pancakes, 10 sacks allowed. So yeah, I'm losing 7 of my top 8 O-line. I'm sure it's fine. Kicker, we're losing nobody. Defensive line, Terry Dingle, we must salute. All-American, All-Conference, 160 tackles for his career, 61 tackles for loss, 26 sacks, 91 pressures. Insane. Also a forced fumble to his name. Sean Ballard also goes 78 tackles, 21 for a loss, 7 sacks, 24 pressures, and a forced fumble. This hurts because we're losing top 2 of our 3D linemen, and we don't really have that great depth to replace it, but I'll get into that. Linebacker, salute. Luis Silva goes All-American, All-Conference, nearly 200 career tackles, 38 for a loss, 14 sacks, 23 pressures, multiple turnovers, 2 forced fumbles, 3 picks. Maxwell Winters, 2-time All-Conference, 173 tackles, 31 for a loss, 15 sacks, 41 pressures, which for a linebacker is huge. 1 forced fumble, 3 picks. And Fabian Boone, 151 tackles, 16 for a loss, 5 pressures, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 picks. I like our linebacker depth a bit more. I will have to decide whether to keep Guadalupe Hale again, but we got some recruits coming in. Corner, we're losing 3 of our top 5 guys. Jesus Frazier, All-Conference, with 2 forced fumbles, 3 picks, and a career completion percentage allowed 56%. Keep in mind he was also injured this year, hence why I think that number is a bit worse. Anthony Cimental was a senior transfer for us. It didn't have any interceptions, but got a couple pressures, couple blitz packages he was in. Overall, he was fine for us. No real insane complaints. Tony Milton, the unsung hero, the backup guy, very dependable in coverage, only allowed 9 completions out of 26 targets and got an interception to his name. We salute Mr. Milton. And then safety, we're losing Jackson Rasmussen. This one hurts. All-American, All-SEC. Didn't have a great year this year as last year, but overall, really dependable safety. Him and Mark Carr were such a great 1-2 punch. But we will miss the 19 seniors graduating. Most of them, it looks like, will be drafted. I'm surprised that like Damon Davis and Anthony Cimental won't be. But we'll see how that goes. Let us advance the week to the transfers. How many players are we losing? Is it bigger than 15? Last year it was, what I think, around 15, 17? Who knows? Who can say? Let's see what we got. Good news is we have a lot more NIL money to promise to give players if it comes to that. But hey, as I demonstrated, there's a benefit in promising 8 players different things, especially if you can succeed in all of them. 24. Okay. So that number says 24. It's a pretty big number. I think we can all agree. 24 is cracked. So if all of them leave, that means I'm down to 54 scholarships. 54. All right, let's run through it. Let's do this like lightning. Here we go. We're just going by position. QB, no one wants to leave. Round of applause. I love you all. Running back. Okay. DeSantiago, Cha, Howell, Dunham. DeSantiago is gone. That's why I redshirted him this year, so he would keep his eligibility. The problem is all these guys would be depth options and wouldn't play because Conrad, Middleton, and Cesar would be my 1-2-3 punch again. But Middleton also isn't great. I think Blake Howell. What's everyone's money? 607. I think Javier Dunham is definitely gone. That's set in stone. Elvis DeSantiago's gone, so it's against Cha or Howell. I think on balance, I would keep Cha. I don't much care about the money, so I'm gonna promise Cha. I'm gonna give him $800,000, and then DeSantiago, Howell, and Dunham walk. So that leaves me with Conrad, Middleton, Dixon, top 3, Harrison, Cha for depth, Dylan White, red shirts. I'm fine with that. Wide receiver. Okay. Hobson is gone. That's obvious. So Marvin Wall is 1, Banks is 2, Tam 3, Leonard 4. So Francisco Askew would be 5th. 50% of snaps, he's not getting 50. So we're paying him 1.4. Yeah, and Hobson goes. That's fine. Or do I let Francisco go and just give Francis Mack the spot? That does seem a little silly. Yeah, no. I think it's 1, 2, 3, and then Leonard, Askew, and Tam can all fight it out for those other spots. All right, that's a lot of money, but needs must, etc. Tight end. All right, Pollock. So here's the thing. You are now our number 2 tight end. That said, I don't know if I want you to be. No, I think I do. Because I think Allison's going to be number 1, Pollock is 2, and then that gives Hillard and Downs the ability to redshirt. Yeah, I think it's fine. And it's Polk, not Pollock. I'm doing great. All right, so offensive line, everyone who's a backup wants to leave. Dylan Reynolds, this is simple, 60%. He'll get 60%. Brody Jacobson. Okay, I need to determine who I want to keep and who I want to punt. I mean, genuinely, I could just keep everyone. And they would just be my new starting O-line. Like that's kind of where we're at. I don't think definitely not Hawthorne. Craig I would like to keep. I'll pay Craig. Roberson, maybe. Gilliam, no. So Gilliam and Hawthorne are gone. Roberson, I would like to keep. I think Jacobson and Wesley, I'm going to promise 60% because that's just my new starting O-line now. Or Wesley, maybe I pay. Yeah, I'll pay Wesley. I'll promise Jacobson 60%. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe we bring in a 5th for depth. Hawthorne leaves. Roberson, I pay. Okay, so that's 1.5 million to reinforce my O-line. Gilliam is gone. That's fine. Okay, kicker. Pardo wants to leave. He shall. D-line. So my plan is to redshirt Gulati, Richmond, and probably blue, though maybe not blue. So losing both Felipe Grant and Josue Michael wouldn't be great. But on the other hand, they wouldn't play. That's the other issue. Like Ball and Mosley and Parker all had great production. Jorge Peters, we know, is solid. So it's definitely not worth it to keep both. Do I keep one? 40%. I mean, you're not getting 40% as my fifth D lineman. Nope, they're both going to walk. Pitts is going to play a lot, and I think Giovanni Blue will play his first JUCO year. Linebacker. This is easy. So Hudson Dalton obviously will get 40% of snaps. Guadalupe Hale, you are now our number 2 linebacker. You will also get 40%. Like this is my linebacker room next year. Gordon, Hale, Bush, Dalton. Like that's my top 4 because they're all going to be, Gordon obviously at the tippy top, but Guadalupe will be mid 80s. Bush, Dalton with any luck will be low 80s. McNeil I know is solid. Maybe I bring in a transfer guy. Remember when I said I wouldn't make 8 player promises? I have already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Corner. Okay, so this is where I think I have the opportunity to shift how my corner room looks. Lucas is a man-to-man specialist, but he can do zone. Payne isn't as good as zone. Damian Wade cannot cover zone. Ezekiel Terrell can. Eric Clemente can. So, but Damian Wade is so good. I think I promised to keep both Wade and Terrell. 40% of snaps is fine. Or do I let Terrell go? I think I let Terrell go, actually. What's Eric Clemente want to stay? 700,000? Yeah, because he was the Nebraska guy that I brought over. How did he develop? I mean, his man went up by 9. That I think it might honestly be worth keeping Eric Clemente. Just for one more development hit to see if he can really ascend. So I'm going to pay him 700,000. But yeah, Terrell can walk. And then Donovan Yoder might play a little bit more as his own specialist. Moses Strickland, Mateo Little should just redshirt. I like it. Safety. Okay. So this is the tricky part. Because Wilcox is staying, I now run the issue of if I keep Butler, then Wilcox, Bellamy, and Butler are all gone after next year, and I don't have a great succession plan at safety. But I mean, Trent Butler is really good. Ooh, what if I move Trent Butler to corner? 82 B minus. Or do I move Frank? I'm going to move Frank. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep them both. I'm going to keep them both. So, Gilberto Frank will move to corner. And he will compete with Eric Clemente for reps there. So I'll keep them both. Butler, I can promise snaps. And 1.3 million to be, fourth corner. That's not the end of the world. I'll make the promise. So for those keeping track at home, I started with 21 million. I have now promised 6 million to players to stay. That has also dropped my players transferring from 24 to 14, or to 10, excuse me. So 14 players are staying, 10 are gone. All right, let me do a quick run through, see what I want. QB unchanged. Javier is going to be our starter next year. Jesse Funk backup. Do I cut Edwin Cole so we can play elsewhere? No. Running back. So it's Conrad, Dixon at 1 and 2. Middleton likely is going to be 3. He might even be 2. Harrison Shaw is going to be our 4th guy for depth. DeSantiago, Howell, Dunham, all walk. Dylan White, red shirts. I'm cool with that. Wide receiver, Wall, Banks, 1, 2. Tam, Leonard, Askew behind them. So that's my 5. Because I'm only playing 5 wide receivers. Francis Mack, first wide receiver off the bench. Con, Littlejohn, redshirt. Tight end, Allison, Polk, 1, 2. Westbrook is 3. Hillard, Downs, redshirt. I'm cool with that. O-line, this gets a bit tricky looking. Haley, top. Reynolds behind him. Lance Davies follows up that list. Jacobson and Wesley at the moment round out the starters. I think O-line might still be a transfer need just to bring in one player. And then Roberson and Craig can be back-end starters. Hawthorne, Gilliam, Walk. Depth O-lineman down here. I'm okay with all of that. I'm a little upset losing Danny Gillum, but he didn't really develop all that well. His strength only went up by 1. Run block went up by 1. Kicker, Pardo out, Curry in. Very simple. High is still our starter. D-line, the top 4 stays. Felipe Grant and Josue Michael leave. That means Darian Pitts is going to play. That means Giovanni Blue is going to play. Gulati, Richmond, Stevens, redshirt. I'm okay with that. I'm a little thin at D-line, losing both Grant and Michael. But I think we'll be okay. How did Grant develop? He did pretty good. I think we're okay, though. All right, linebacker, we're set. No changes, really. Corner, we're losing Terrell, but Frank will come over to cover. All right. That's our transfers. We're losing 3 running backs, 1 wide receiver, a couple of linemen, couple D linemen, and Ezekiel Terrell at corner. But that is that. Those are our players leaving. I will then handle the first week of transfers off stream, and we will see how we will bring in 17 scholarship players. But thank you all for watching. We now have a second trophy in Alabama's cabinet, looking to continue on that success in year 3. See y'all next time.